Hey guys, Cheri from The Watering Mouth here, doing a Nutritarian Whole Foods grocery shopping haul. Everything I bought, why I bought it, and how much it cost. Okay, so this is based on the Eat to Live Nutritarian diet, which is by Dr. Joel Fuhrman, based on the book Eat to Live. So whole foods, plant-based, high nutrient foods here. What happens is by the end of the week or end of a couple weeks or whatever, I'll start to run out of produce. And as you can see, my fridge is, well, for me, this is pretty bare, actually. Here's some salad ingredients. Here's some extra mushrooms, some celery, and then a bunch of soup portions ready to go for this week. But other than that, I don't have any greens or anything. You can see I have a lot of dates back there that I usually use for smoothies and stuff, but and I'm good on the nuts and seeds at this point. And I have some almond milk. But for me, this is actually really sparse. And so we're gonna see if I can get through this video today. Here's what I got. So here's my grocery bags. This is everything I bought for one week to 2 weeks. This is really gonna last me quite a while. And I didn't spend as much as sometimes I do. And this is mostly for one person, by the way. So just keep this in mind. One thing I wanna note beforehand, and I'm gonna get probably lots of comments on the fact that this is pretty expensive. Okay, first of all, I shopped at Whole Foods. Why do I shop at Whole Foods? Because it has the best variety and the best freshness. The stupid camera keeps unfocusing. And I can go to one store and get everything done. When I'm trying to go grocery shopping, I've got this little one running around with me. It can make it really difficult and frustrating for me to try to get everything all at once if I have to go to a bunch of different stores. So that's why I like to go to Whole Foods. I don't like to pay the prices at Whole Foods, but as far as the quality goes and the variety and that I can get everything in one store, that to me is worth it at this time in my life. The other thing I want to make a note of, like if I go to Trader Joe's or if I go to regular health food stores, I can't get, you know, half of the stuff I'm looking for, especially when it comes to organic stuff too. I have really good ways of using things up at the end of the week or the end of 2 weeks if I haven't used things up yet. Freezing things, using them in soups, using them in little desserts like banana ice creams, things like that. So, but the thing I want to know is that I don't ever get sick. Ever. Now it might change a little bit now that I have a little one. I might get sick a little bit more, but as far as actually getting colds and allergies and asthma and having these kinds of afflictions, I don't have any of that kind of stuff. So I never have Walgreens bills, you know, I don't have to go to the pharmacy and get some pills to get me through whatever, you know, zinc pills or cold medicine or anything like that. I never have to buy that kind of stuff. I don't ever have to go to the doctor other than maybe once or twice a year when I get a checkup and I get my blood work done just to check and see where I'm at. I just don't have to deal with that stuff. And also, this is a very valid thing to think about, but it's difficult because it's long term. I am positive that I'm going to have a lot less medical bills later on down the road when I don't have to deal with cancer, when I don't have to deal with heart disease. Now, none of these things are for sure, right? But they're definitely, chances are greatly improved when you eat this way, starting off earlier in your life and you do it consistently. Even if you start off later in your life and you do it consistently, completely, you eat as much of this food as you can, you're going to reduce your bills in the future. So I know that's hard to think of offset in that way, that by paying it now, you're not paying it later, but I tell you that is so worth it to feel vibrant, to have energy, to reduce your food issues and your cravings, and to make sure that your body's getting the nutrition it needs. It's completely worth it now versus later. So that being said, let's get into what I got, okay? Some of the things I already have in my kitchen that I didn't have to buy today. Bananas. I always have tons of bananas hanging around ripening, so I can just take them off the peel, throw them in the freezer, and use them for smoothies, okay? I also have a bunch of soup already made in my freezer. I've got some vegetables, and I already had mixed berries and a bunch of cherries and some other fruits and vegetables for smoothies and stuff like that. So that is stuff I didn't have to invest in today. So, you know, just take that into account because often I do have to buy those things too. I also have some avocados and tomatoes already, but I'm gonna unload everything from these bags and then I'm gonna just run through it and show you guys what I got, okay? Okay, here it is. This is the haul from today. Now, most of the bulk of usually what I'm getting is greens. What I'm thinking when I go to the store is always salad and smoothies, and then interesting things. And then sort of the extra little side aisle things that I need to get. So here's what I got. I always start off in the produce section. and then I just go down a couple aisles for the rest of the time. So I got the greens that I like to get. I always like to mix up my greens. That's the most important part of shopping for me. So I always start off with some really mild lettuces, and then I get cruciferous as well. So those are the two types of greens I always try to think of. Try to disregard the noise going on over here. So for me, I can't eat spinach because of kidney stones. So I end up having red and green leaf lettuce to start with always. So that's usually the base of my salads, is red and green leaf lettuce. Today I got green leaf. And then I also got some escarole, which is something I've actually never had before. I'm excited to try it and see. Actually, let me just try some of it right now. It's got a lot more flavor than a red and green leaf lettuce does, but this will be a nice little extra addition. This is my other favorite lettuce here, which is butter lettuce. This is a little bit more expensive than regular other lettuces, but it is so creamy and mild and delicious. This is absolutely my favorite lettuce in the world. So I'm gonna use this and the green leaf lettuce as bases for salads. Then I buy cruciferous things. So here I got a Napa Cabbage. I love this because it's super mild. I use it both in smoothies and in salads, and the same with this kale. Now I got this red leaf kale, which I don't usually love to get. I pretty much only get red kale if I'm using it in smoothies, which is what I'm gonna be doing with this one, because I really like the Dino Lacinato kale for salads. And if you guys wanna check out my cheesy kale salad recipe, that is like my favorite recipe for kale ever as far as salads go. So that's what I got as far as the lettuces go and the greens. Then what I do is just sort of look around the produce section and see what looks good to me. So this week, what looked good to me, because it's still summer a little bit over here in Vegas kinda, is the tomatoes. Still really, really yummy flavor in tomatoes. So I got a bunch of tomatoes. I plan to eat tons of those this week. Then I also got some radishes, and I always try to just get the cheap ones because I'm not gonna pay extra for radishes, but these are really good cruciferous vegetables as well, and I can just slice those into my salad. I got red onions because they were on sale. I always get a red onion, but I got 3 today because they were on sale. Then what else did I get in produce? I got shredded carrots, and I also get the really big bags of carrots usually, but I got these too just because it's so easy when I'm making a salad. I usually get peppers, so I got a red and an orange one because they look the best. And then I got zucchini and yellow, what is this? What do they call this? Yellow squash. So I got these 3 things as well, and a cucumber. I also always get lemon and lime, so I got 2 of those, and I was out of garlic, so I needed garlic. That's what I got in the produce section, you guys. I already had some grapes and some bananas and stuff, as we discussed before. So typically I'll go up and down the aisles and see what looks interesting. Oh, I forgot one thing. Sorry, somebody wants attention right now. I think she wants breakfast. We might have to take a little break, just a minute. And I also got these Honeycrisp apples. Now, Honeycrisp are more expensive than other types of apples, but they are just so delicious. Hold on, let me pick up this little baby. And they are my absolute favorite, so I always try to get Honeycrisp if I can. Otherwise, I'll usually do Fuji or something like that. That still has some really awesome flavor, but is a good price. Somebody wants to be the camera lady. The other thing I just want to run through real quick is what I got in the frozen and refrigerated section, so I can put those away. Then I'm gonna feed her breakfast and come back and finish this tour, okay? I always get berries. I try not to get them at Whole Foods if I can help it, because I don't usually get organic berries, because if you're gonna get anything non-organic berries, it should be the frozen ones, and I like to save a little money there. Occasionally, from time to time, it's okay to get conventional frozen berries because they typically don't have as many pesticides on them or fungicides or whatever as fresh berries would have. So this is usually an okay choice. So I tend to do that. You know, if I'm gonna splurge somewhere, it's gonna be on fresh organic berries. And I usually only get berries that are on sale, so that's why I got blackberries today. But whenever there's something on sale berry-wise, I always get it. So I got some cherries and I got some berries because this is what I always put in my morning smoothie. But I already had a bunch in my freezer already. I just want to make sure I had enough for until the next time I was gonna have to grocery shop. So I just got 1 or 2 bags. And this is probably, all this food, you guys, is probably gonna last me about a week or a week and a half. So this really not too much grocery shopping to have to do. It's not like I have to shop every 5 minutes or something. But I'm very lucky to have a Whole Foods, really, really good Whole Foods here in Las Vegas. If I didn't have Whole Foods, I would probably be going to my regular grocery store, which wouldn't have as much variety of organic produce and stuff, but it would still do the trick. And or Trader Joe's, which doesn't have a lot of variety either, but I would still go there. And then I got this hummus, which has no oil in it. This is a really good option here, and I wanted to just see how it tastes. I tried the Engine 2 brand before and I didn't love it. I actually prefer to make my own hummus. I'm gonna try this one out this week. I also got some tofu. I got firm, regular organic tofu, and I got extra firm tofu. I also am gonna try out this sprouted tofu. I don't usually like to get like super sprouted things or whatever just because they're so expensive. You know, I'm just trying this one out today. I'm probably gonna freeze a couple of these and then use one of them fresh and then pull them out when I need them again. Sorry, I'm holding my daughter right now and it's like very kind of difficult to do this, but we do what we can, huh? And she's like playing with the garlic. Yeah, she's like playing with the garlic things right now. So we're trying to keep this away from her at the same time that I'm holding her up on my knee while I'm filming. Okay, the last thing I want to show you before I go feed her breakfast is the one thing that I get in the freezer section that's processed, which are these Engine 2 burritos. I am obsessed with these burritos. It's the best thing for a quick little meal. They are no oil, non-dairy, and they don't have any, well, they have really low sodium. So they have a good amount of sodium. It's still extra sodium for your day, so you know, make sure you don't have too many or whatever. You can have an extra 250 to up to maybe 400, 500 milligrams of sodium per day, and one of these only has like 200 milligrams of sodium. So pretty decent level there as far as sodium goes, so I don't feel bad using these when I need to, and they are made with really good ingredients, and I really love the Engine 2 brand in general because it's very similar to Eat to Live Nutritarian stuff. So like, look at this, one burrito, 230 calories, not that we look too much at calories, but the sodium is 230 milligrams per serving, which means that, you know, if the sodium level of a food is equal to the amount of calories per serving, then that means it is a technically low sodium food, you know, or less. Like it has 200 calories, so 200 milligrams of sodium or less, then you're good. And these ones do, so that is something that if you can find it, I think they're hard to find though. Whoops, we don't need those, do we? She threw the carrots. I think I'm just kind of lucky because we have these here. I don't know anyone else that's ever seen them before, but they have saved my life. So if you can find them, whoa, push me over. Look for those burritos. Okay, we're getting a little antsy here, so I gotta go. I'll see you guys after breakfast. Okay, so I have shown you all of the things over here. We've got all the fresh produce. Now, the last stuff that I got was a couple containers of low sodium vegetable broth. I use this when I make some soup sometimes if I don't have some good carrot juice or whatever, or my own that's already been made. Here's the apples I showed you before. And then the last thing I got was just a bunch of beans to stock back up. So a couple of Great Northern beans, a couple of garbanzo beans. I wanted to try these large lima beans because I always like to try something new if I can. And then I got some black beans. So I get dried ones. I use an Instant Pot whenever I cook soups or beans because it just makes it so much easier. I know that people are intimidated by the Instant Pot, and you really are like, because I know that what I thought before I got it was, well, I mean, if I have to wait for it to come up to pressure and wait for it to come back down to pressure, and you know, it ends up taking an hour and a half anyways or something, and I can cook regular beans in 2 hours. No, you guys, it's totally worth it. The main reason is because beans don't need to be pre-soaked. You don't have to soak them overnight before you make them, so you can just throw them in the pot, make the soup, and be done with it, and you don't even have to watch it. That's the whole thing. There is some babysitting involved if you're making your own beans at home, which it's by no means a difficult process, so don't let me scare you off from that, because that's easy too. I did it for years before I got to the Instant Pot, but by the time I got the Instant Pot, man, I was like, oh, I just wasted like 3-4 years of my life because I was afraid of this thing, and because they're not even really that expensive either. I'm gonna put a link for them in the description of this video. But so I always get dry beans nowadays because I can make a soup in 15 minutes, you know, by chopping everything, throw everything in the pot, and then just cook it, and it cooks it by itself. I can leave it in there for a while if I need to, until it cools down, or you know, until I get the chance to look at it again. And it's just the easiest. It's changed my Eat to Live journey for sure. So I always get the dry beans. Sometimes I used to, you know, keep the canned ones on hand, and canned beans are just fine. Try to get organic if you can. No salt or low sodium if possible. That's the most important part. And even if you don't like that flavor right now, you will get used to it over time. Your taste buds will adjust, and if you ever go back to salted beans, you're gonna be like, ugh. I had some salted beans in my cupboard recently, and I didn't realize it. I opened up, I went to eat some, just to take a little snack, and I was like, oh, these are gross. So it really can be a thing that, you know, you grow to love and get into over time. Okay, so that was my haul from Whole Foods. Let's talk about the price then. Okay, so I have my fancy long receipt here from Whole Foods. I try to get everything I can on sale. The grand total for this shopping trip was $137.06. I heard an audible gasp from some of you. You were like, what? I totally understand it. I'm also somebody who likes to have tons of variety. I think that's really important with what we're eating. So I do try to get lots of different things. And with the way that I cook stuff, which is basically smoothies and salads, and then maybe a couple other meals, maybe a stir fry or something like that during the week, I do happen to snack on some of this stuff while I'm cooking too. The tomatoes and stuff are something I love to snack on while I'm cooking. This is a pretty decent amount of produce here, but let's imagine now. So I went to Whole Foods, first of all. If you went to a regular store, especially if you went to like Trader Joe's and you got many of these things, this is gonna cost you way less, maybe even 100 bucks or 75 bucks or something. I could make a bunch of extra stuff with these beans, so I did end up stocking up a lot on beans. Having so many meals on hand that are fresh and wonderful and full of high nutrient, low calorie, wonderful, whole food, plant-rich food, completely worth it. It's worth every penny, as I explained before. So consider also, I used to get Starbucks every week, right? A lot of the times I would spend $10, $15 a day on Starbucks, and not just the drinks, but like the food too, because they're just convenient. You're going through the drive-thru, you might as well get a croissant plus a little breakfast sandwich and a drink. And I swear that was what I used to get like every day when I would go to work. Let's say you do that 5 days a week. If you have a regular full-time job, 5 days a week, $50 to, you know, $75 just in Starbucks for one meal a day for 5 days. That's not even 7 days a week, guys. That's already $50, $60, $70 a week. And I spent $137 for all my food for the week, right? Now we may go out to eat once, but the thing is, our going out to eat is way less than what we used to do. I used to go out to eat, man, normally for dinner 3 to 4 times a week. It's just even 15 bucks still. You do that 2, 3, 4 times a week, now you're spending a lot of money. I understand if all you're eating every day is the McDonald's dollar menu and you spend just a few bucks a day, sure, this is more expensive, but think about what that does to your health. Think about what that cheap food that has been, you know, mass produced, creating lots of environmental destruction, etc., not to mention what's going on inside your body from eating that stuff. Sure, that's gonna be less expensive, but what's your priority? You know, what is the priority to you? Is it your health? Is it your vibrance, feeling good, feeling proud of your food, and doing something that's actually sustainable? Because this food makes it sustainable over your lifetime. It makes it, you know, after a while of eating this kinds of food, your taste buds get readjusted, you start to love these flavors, and it also starts to reduce cravings as you're taking in more and more antioxidants and phytochemicals, you know, the bioflavonoids, the tiny little things that don't have calories but make a big difference in our bodies. The fibers from all of this food. Imagine how much fiber I take in on a regular basis from this type of food. Not to mention, guys, the regularity that you enjoy. I know that's a little TMI, but I never have any issues with that kind of stuff. I always feel good. My digestion is quick. I don't have to worry about anything, you know, and I know I'm supporting my future health as well. I'm gonna have really good immunity. I'm not gonna have colds all the time and all this kind of stuff when fall hits, which is what's happening right now. We have like some type of lime drum session going on over here, but yeah, so keep all these things in mind. Hope you guys appreciated the information in this one, and I hope you understand the sort of explanation of it too, because I think it's important to keep all these things in your mind as you go and go and go and go. Oh my gosh, $137 at the grocery store, but think about what you didn't spend on for the rest of the week, right? Okay, thank you for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this Whole Foods grocery store haul. Please comment, like this video, give me a thumbs up, let me know that you like it so I know you like this content. Let me know down below, what is your impression impression of my grocery store haul? Is this something that's similar for you? Are you intimidated by this type of thing? What are you thinking after watching this video, knowing what it takes to keep up with this lifestyle? You know, over time, you'll also get a lot better with knowing what to do with the produce once you've bought it, how to use it, what recipes to make. It's all part of this learning curve. So just keep at it, keep going. I wish you guys the best of luck. Like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video if you think it might help someone that might be on their healthy journey as well. In my videos, I try to include a helpful little PDF, and you guys can check out the PDF for this one at this address below, thewateringmouth.com/cheat sheets. What the PDF is going to talk about in this video is the tips that I used, as well as the things I talked about, like the Instant Pot and things like that. And then I'm going to give you sort of a little rundown of the areas of the grocery store that I go to, and little tips for each of those, like the produce section. Here's what I look for, here's what I try to get, then I go down this aisle, I try to get this kind of stuff, whatever, so you can see what I usually get at the grocery store when I'm going to stock up on some Eat to Live stuff. So please check out that PDF. You can always print out these PDFs, print out these cheat sheets that I make for you, get a little binder or folder and put them in there, and then that way on a regular basis you can just review some of the things that we've talked about in these videos to keep you on your game and remembering some of these concepts, okay? And lastly, if you like these videos, you guys, the way that you can help me and ensure that I can make lots and lots more of them in the future for you is by checking me out on Patreon. Patreon is a website that I use to allow you guys to get some exclusive content that I don't share anywhere else. Stuff like notes from my coaching, things that, you know, come up that are inspirational to me and hopefully inspirational to you, and as well as like live Q&As and real actual live interaction with me personally on Patreon. So please check that out. It would mean so much to me if you'd be able to support a little bit to help me make more of these videos. I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.